Lesson 14, Writing and Solving Inequalities. So this I pulled from your course. What it tells you is the word or phrase that you will see in the problem, and that will tell you which algebraic symbol to use. Okay, so for example, if your problem says less than, you would want to put this less than symbol in your inequality. If it says at least, you would want to use this greater than or equal to inequality sign. Alrighty, so here's our first problem. It says that Gretchen has saved up $62 and works part-time for her $13 per hour job. She wants to have at least $250 by the end of the week. So here, it says she wants to have at least $250. So if I look back here at my chart, here's at least, which tells me I want to use this symbol in my inequality. So I need to have this symbol in my inequality, which means these two down here, which have the symbol in the opposite direction, those are out. So now I just need to figure out, am I adding or am I subtracting this 62? Well, she has saved up $62, right? So that's money that she earned, and she's combining that with her $13 an hour part-time job. So I would want to pick the one where she is adding because she earns this money from her part-time job plus the $62 that she already has saved up. Alrighty, Nancy is shopping for new clothes and does not want to spend more than $65. So more than $65. Let's look here where I find more than. Here's more than, and I want to use the greater than symbol. So I'm going to use this greater than symbol. And it looks like or equal to, because those are the only answer choices I have. Whoops. So these two facing the opposite direction are out. And she buys one dress for $23 and wants to buy a few shirts that cost $14 each. So she's only buying one dress, right? She's only paying that $23 one time. But she's going to buy a few shirts, which means that she's going to buy more than one shirt that is $14, right? But I don't know how many shirts she's buying, so I'm going to let X represent the amount of shirts that I'm buying, and if I were to buy 3 shirts, I would take 14 and multiply it by 3, right? But I don't know how many shirts I'm buying, which is why I'm putting this X next to my 14. Okay, because that $23 she's only buying once, so I don't need to include it more than one time. So here we have the same problem, except now we're going to be solving it. So we want to know how many hours does she need to work in order to have that $250. So I'm going to take our equation, or sorry, our inequality from before, and what we're going to do is solve this. Now you solve this the same exact way as you would an equation, except instead of an equal sign, you have this inequality sign. So when I have that plus 62, opposite would be subtracting 62 from both sides. I am left with 13x is greater than or equal to, let's do some math here. I need to borrow, this becomes 14 and 10, so this is 8 and 8 and 1. So 188. Let's divide both sides by 13. And I have x is greater or equal to, let me just divide this really quick. And this is going to be about 14.46 hours. So she needs to work more, or exactly 14.46 hours to get that $250 she wants by the end of the week. Now, here's just another problem. We're just going to solve this inequality. I'm going to rewrite it over here so that it's a bit bigger. Again, same way you would an equation, except you have the inequality instead of an equal sign. So I'm going to start by subtracting 12 from both sides. These cancel. I'm left with 4x is greater than. This is going to give me 36. Divide both sides by 4 to undo that multiplication, and I'm left with x is greater than 9. So final answer for this one would be x is greater than 9. All right, now when you are dividing by a negative number, you must always flip this direction of your inequality sign. So for in this example, this first one, I have a negative 2 times x is less than 16. So to get rid of this multiplication, I'm going to do division. I have to divide both sides by negative 2. Now, since I'm dividing both sides by negative 2, my inequality sign in my problem is originally less than, right? I have this less than in between. So when I flip it, this pointy end of my inequality sign is going to flip the other direction. So it will look like this. Okay? So that's just a rule, you gotta remember it, okay? So here let's divide by negative 1 and 1/4. This will go away. I'm left with x and a negative 8 on this side. Now remember, my inequality is facing the right, so when I flip it, the point is going to be going the other direction. Okay, so you just got to remember that when you're dividing by a negative, you got to flip your sign. Alright, so here's another problem. I'm going to get rid of this positive 12 by subtracting 12, right? Because opposite of a positive is a negative. This goes away. I have negative 3x is greater than, let's see, that gives us 18. Divide both sides by negative 3. These will go away. I'm left with just x. 18 divided by negative 3 gives me negative 6. Now remember, I need to flip my sign, because this number that I'm dividing by is negative. Okay, so I need to flip my sign so that it is going the opposite direction. One more example, let's subtract 8 from both sides. So I have a negative 1/2 x is less than negative 28. Okay, now let's divide both sides by negative 1/2. Oops. So these will go away. I have x, and then I'm going to leave this blank here, and 1/2, or negative 28 divided by negative 1/2 is going to give you 56 positive. Now remember, we have to flip our sign again, okay, because I'm dividing by this negative here. Okay, so this inequality sign is going to be flipped to this direction. Alrighty, so that is all I have. If you'd like some extra help with this, please let me know. Remember to always flip your sign when you're dividing by a negative. Okay, always double check, is it negative? If it's negative, you gotta divide and flip. Okay, other than that, thank you so much for watching, and let me know if you would like some extra help. Have a great day.